The most effective political host on television is out at Fox News Channel. We don't know whether Tucker Carlson was fired or quit today or over the weekend, but one thing is very clear. Tucker Carlson was making Fox News increasingly uncomfortable. The LA Times reporting the decision was made by Rupert Murdoch himself, said to be concerned over Carlson's coverage of the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, in which the host has promoted the conspiracy theory that it was provoked by government agents. So the LA Times, with no evidence, says refusing the official narrative of J6 is a conspiracy theory because today's journalists simply just report what government tells them as fact. It's actually very easy to be a news reporter these days, if you didn't know. In reality, there's a lot of evidence that January 6th was both not an insurrection and also wasn't totally organic. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy gave Tucker Carlson exclusive access to the January 6 tapes, which helped to dramatically change the narrative of the so-called insurrection. Carlson also spread revolver news reporting about Ray Epps, whose actions at the Capitol on both January 5th and 6th were rather extraordinary for somebody who was never arrested.
One man was actually caught on camera planning an insurrection, encouraging a breach of the Capitol complex. That man's name is Ray Epps. Now, the New York Times noted that Epps was videotaped on both January 5th and January 6th, urging protesters to storm the Capitol. Here it is.
We need to go in to the Capitol. Let's go! I'm going to put it out there. I'm probably going to go to jail tomorrow. We need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol. Peacefully. Fed. Okay, folks. Grab the word. As soon as the president's done speaking, we go to the Capitol. The Capitol's this direction.
Now, again, we don't know who Ray Epps really is at the end of the day, but there's no reason why anybody should be fired for showing that video and for reporting a side that the government doesn't approve of. Not in this country. 60 Minutes broadcasted its own reporting on Ray Epps last night. It's kind of weird. He's literally the only J6er getting sympathetic coverage. Grandmothers walked into the Capitol, took pictures for 5 minutes, and ended up in jail, and the media relished it. Ray Epps electrifies the crowd and sends them into the Capitol. He's never arrested and gets friendly media coverage. Adam Kinzinger today said Epps deserves to get rich from this, from his struggles. He should sue Fox for defaming him. Kinzinger wants everyone involved in January 6th thrown into a gulag, but Ray Epps, who told people to storm the building that Kinzinger occupied, deserves a payout? Yeah, there's nothing at all weird about that. 60 Minutes covered Ray Epps last night. Tucker is ousted this morning. Impossible to think that there's not a connection there. At Newsmax, we've covered the same bizarre Ray Epps glitch in the J6 narrative because it's important. We can't tell you whether Ray Epps is or is not a government actor, but we certainly can smell when a story stinks, and the government's story stinks. This is what journalism is. But permanent Washington despises transparency like that. They cleverly call it a threat to democracy, and then they scream fascism, which, of course, is the easiest way to garner the American left's support as the American government commits the exact atrocity that it's alleging. Here was Chuck Schumer after McCarthy gave those January 6 tapes to Tucker Carlson.
Rupert Murdoch, who has admitted they were lies and said he regretted it, has a special obligation to stop Tucker Carlson from going on tonight now that he's seen how he has perverted and slimed the truth.
Evidently, Rupert Murdoch was listening. Challenging the official narrative, exposing the machine, comes with tremendous liability. And Fox does not need any more of that, it seems. They spent hundreds of millions during Me Too, and last week Fox agreed to pay Dominion Voting Systems nearly $1 billion after Rupert Murdoch himself shockingly tanked his own case, making bizarre admissions and depositions against any reasonable attorney advice he could have been getting. Murdoch gave the Dominion case away and set a precedent at Fox for lawsuits in the future. Now, anytime Fox hosts allege something that's not confirmed to be completely true, factually known in that moment, which is something, again, that happens constantly in all opinion news all across the spectrum, well, Fox can look out for another $500 million lawsuit. And to avoid this, it appears Fox will just move toward milquetoast conservative news. They'll become the Mitt Romney of conservative media. Not only is it safer, it's also better for the bottom line. When you watch Fox or you watch any conservative media, you of course notice the immediate difference in the commercials that you see. Much less mainstream corporate America than you see in the politically safe media out there, which just spouts generic Marxism that this country now embraces in the mainstream. It's cancel culture in action, what's happening to conservative media. Biased information outfits like NewsGuard and the Global Disinformation Index exist only to pressure major companies to never advertise on conservative media. Now, these are sham outfits pretending to be fighting misinformation. In reality, they're just pushing for liberal authoritarianism, which is what everything's pushing us towards these days. They want to drown out dissenting opinion. They no longer want you to hear the opinions that you want to hear. They no longer want you to be fully informed. And they're winning. They are winning the battle for the soul of this country. Many major corporations are too scared to advertise on conservative media. They cower and adhere to censorship guidelines because it's easier than standing up for their right to advertise wherever they want or wherever their viewers are. Corporate America has bent the knee. We watched it happen over the last several years, and now Fox has also bent the knee. It is a tremendous moment when they throw out the #1 rated anchor at the network to appease the militant left. And that's what's happened. The enormous power of that machine is breaking the most critically important freedom we have in this country, the right to think for ourselves, the right to free speech and to free thought. Poetically, this was something that Tucker Carlson spoke about this weekend at an event for the Heritage Foundation.
You look around and you see so many people break under the strain, under the downward pressure of whatever this is that we're going through. And you look with disdain and sadness as you see people you know become quislings, you see them revealed as cowards, you see them going along with a new thing, which is clearly a poisonous thing, a silly thing. You know, saying things you know they don't believe because they want to keep their jobs. And you're so disappointed in people. You know you are, and you realize that the herd instinct is maybe the strongest instinct. And you see people going along with this, and you lose respect for them. And that's certainly happened to me at scale over the past 3 years. I'm not mad at people, I'm just sad. I'm disappointed. How could you go along with this? You know it's not true, but you're saying it anyway?
Just 2 days later, that same ideal would cost him his job.